Hey guys, so today we are going to be building a PC, but with a twist. We're going to be outside where it's nice and sunny with the nature. Ignore my cat, please, in the background. She's just a kitten, so she's a little fussy. But, anyways, we're going to be building this PC out of scratch parts for the first time in my lifetime, and this has been a dream come true, and I finally got the chance to do it. So, anyways, this is what you need for this project, and I'll be doing step by step on how to do it. And yeah, so you need a couple case fans. One's already installed in the case. I couldn't get it out. Right here is one of them. Right here. You need a Phillips screwdriver. This is magnetic. This is optional. This is a media card reader. You got some SATA data cables right here. Got about I need to close that out. I got about 6 of them because I'm going to be installing 5 hard drives and then a DVD drive, but we're going to be getting to that later. Got a couple of Y splitter, SATA power splitters because I'm going to be installing a couple more hard drives. Got 2 of them. Got a motherboard speaker, which is like an error code speaker. So it'll tell you what error codes and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty nice. We got some 2.5-inch hard drives. We got a 750 gigabyte Western Digital black hard drive. We got a 500 gig hard drives. We got a HGST 500 gig and a Seagate 500 gig. And we got 2 more Seagate 500 gigs, but these are 3.5-inch ones, so they'll fit in the case just fine. I'm just weird modifications. Then we got an HP LightScribe DVD RAM drive. So, yeah. We got a 256 gig Samsung NVMe SSD, which is and there's a wasp, so I got to be a little bit more careful about that. No, this is not going to be an NAS built. This is just what I have laying around, so I figured why not toss them in there. I'm talking to the guy in the live chat, by the way, so why not throw them around whenever I have extras, So I got them for free, so why not? I'm doing this live stream on my laptop, by the way, because my phone back camera does not work, so I'm gonna have to do it with my laptop's webcam, so that's why it's kind of weird and whatnot. But I will be reading you guys' live comments as you guys say them, so feel free to leave a live comment as you guys go on. Yeah, this is a 256 gig Samsung NVMe SSD. This motherboard has 2 of them, which I'll show in a minute. I'm missing some parts at the moment, but I'll be putting them in at a later date. I just figured I'd just go ahead and start the stream right now just because I've got kind of impatient, so it is what it is. We got an 8 gig stick of DDR4 2400T. I plan on getting I'm getting another 8 gig stick pretty soon from my good friend Sid. I'll link his channel in the description of this video once I'm done live streaming. I'll be getting a couple more 8 gig sticks to make this 32 gig once I save up more money in the future. But for now, I'm almost an adult. I got to save up for other things, But 8 gigs will be good enough just for the build, power it on and whatnot. And then we got a CPU cooler right here. That's for LGA socket 1151. We got a Core i5 6500 CPU. I plan on upgrading it to a Core i7 6700 or 7700 pretty soon, though. Once I save up more money. But for now, this is all I have, so it'll get up and running at least. Then all I have in terms of graphics cards, this is just for demonstration purposes only, of showing you guys how to put it in. I'm not actually going to use it for this build because this is a small form factor card and it's not really that good. But I will get a RTX 1070 pretty soon, 8 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM from my good friend Sid. So, but this is just an R5 430, I think 2 gigs of GDDR5, and this is a low profile one, so it won't even fit in this case I have here. I would just have to put in the PCIe slot, so yeah. And then right here is the motherboard. It's the MSI Z170A Gaming M5, not MS, M5 motherboard. It's red and black. It's a really unique motherboard. There's a piece of hair on there, so I gotta get that out. Perfect. And it's a really nice motherboard. It supports up to 6 and 7 gen Intel processors. And what you see behind me is the case. It's spray painted red and also the front panel is red and black. It was originally gray and black, but it is spray painted red and black. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to build now. So, and I also have some screws with me in my pocket that we're going to be used to this build. So yeah. And I forgot to mention, I have one more part to show you guys, and that is this 520 watt ATX Insignia power supply. So yeah, I'm not sure how long this live stream will be, and I'm not sure how long this will take to build, but it'll be worth it in the long run. So anyways, let's get on to it. So first things first, let me position my laptop around a little bit better here. And I'll show you what parts you need first of all. You need your case here, your chassis, and then you need your. This motherboard also does not have its I/O shield, so we'll have to install its I/O shield for the time being. I did order one, but it's from China, so I will have to wait till that comes in like a month. So yeah, so we have to line this up here, make sure what screws fit and whatnot. Let's see what screws fit and whatnot. And of course, and this wasn't a micro ATX motherboard originally, so I have to take some of the screw to standoff things all out and put them in like different holes. So let me go ahead and show you that real quickly. So what you want to do, and crap, I think I may need pliers for this. See how many people are watching this. Not sure. It doesn't say how many people are watching this, but I will have to be right back because I got to get a pair of pliers. So let me go ahead and shut this camera off real quickly. I can do that. There we go. I'll be right back, folks. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. So, anyways, what you want to do is twist it just a tiny bit, take it out, and then just put it in the new hole that you want it to be in. If I can even get it in right here. Twist it in, make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'll do the same with the other one here. And I was able to get this one out without any pliers, so yay. And then you don't really need this top left screw right here, so because it's kind of uneven, so we're going to put it down here instead. It will please my OCD. Alrighty, so we got that done. Now it's time to install the motherboard, which let me position the camera a little bit better here. Just kind of have a better idea of what I'm doing here. Sorry if I can't really see wiring with the camera, but you want to take your motherboard and then get this any cables that are still in there out of the way. And then you want to go ahead and you want to pop the IO shield in there first of all, from the side that in the back, the outside of the back, pop in to where your ports go. Like that, it should have an empty space where your ports go. You want to slide that in there from the outside, and then I don't have one at the moment, so I will have to take this apart and put it back in there once I get it. But oh well, honestly. And then once you line up with the screw holes, you want to go ahead and take some screws and screw her up. I don't know if that sounds right, but it's whatever, honestly. You don't say stuff right around here anyway, I suppose. There's 8 screws or 9 screws if you have another standoff, but I don't, unfortunately. So it'll just be 8 for me in total. And I need more screws that would fit this, so no more comments, so let's continue. Did I lose a screw? Okay, no, I didn't. You. Okay, here's another screw right here. You always want a magnetic screwdriver for these type of things because they're easier to, like they are way easier to pick up screws than non-magnetic screwdrivers are. I'm going to go ahead and put these screwdrivers right here. You'll go ahead and put another screw in, just like that. Ignore my cat, please. She's been really feisty lately. She's just a kitten, so yeah. That's the way kittens are, am I right? Then we got 3 more screws we need to screw in. The nice thing about this motherboard is it has an error code numeric digit. It's not screen, but like kind of like a clock has a number type of thing. And I wouldn't really know what to call it, but still pretty neat to see it has that. So obviously you don't have to see what. So obviously you don't have to, like, what is it called, like trial and error to see what's wrong with it. You can just look up the error code and go from there. And I just have one more screw to screw in, and she'll be in. It's missing one screw, but like I said, it'll be fine. Missing one screw is not going to hurt anything. I always want to make sure you have hex screws for the motherboard. So that's what I'm looking for in my pocket. So yeah. Anyways, now we're going to put in the power supply. Or maybe. It also just depends. Actually, you know what? We're going to put in the motherboard connections next. Motherboard peripherals. So we got the Core i5 6500 right here. And what we want to do, I'm going to upgrade it to an i7 pretty soon, 6700 or 7700. What you want to do is you want to unlatch that. And I will lay this down when putting the CPU in, so do not worry. Open that, then see that little circle on that's like on the bottom left corner right here. You want to take the triangle on the CPU, the gold triangle that's on the bottom left of the CPU, and you want to line up with that, which I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And my foot's kind of hurting, so just got to be careful with that and not make sure not to bend any pins whatsoever, because these are very, 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 very easy to bend pins on. Already know that we got that done. Let's go ahead and make sure to line that CPU thing up and latch it back down, and we'll be good with that for right now. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to install the CPU fan you have right here. And now, and what you want to do is take the connector and see this connector right here while I'm pointing. That's where the CPU, it's a CPU fan 1. That's where it goes to. And you want to line the notch up with the notch that's on the motherboard. So you want to line these, not really screws, but like these little notches on the CPU cooler, and then you just this already has thermal paste on there from like 2 days ago, so when we're testing it. So just press that down. So you just press these little notches down here. Let me make sure this is all right here, because sometimes these little notches like to get bent. So I like to make sure this is all right. Yeah, it's not wanting to go in for whatever reason, so I will have to try to do some trial and error to fix that. And this one's also kind of bent too, so we'll have to. This may take a little bit longer than I thought to put the CPU cooler in. I do not really like these CPU coolers just because I prefer the screw-in ones just because they're easier to, because the screws are more durable than these latch things are. Let's see if I can find my screwdriver here. Wherever I put my screwdriver in, there it is right here. We're gonna have to fix that. Okay, it should go in just fine now. Let's try it. Let's see here. Sorry if this is taking forever just to install part, but I'm just not used to installing these in stock Intel coolers. So not used to it. Man. Yeah, I got the other three, but I just cannot get this fourth one in. Oh, man. It's maybe a lot harder than I thought. I got it sort of in, but just will not quick in, unfortunately. It's stuck on there good enough. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a pass. Then you plug it in. Sorry that took forever, by the way, but I agree. They are such a pain to put in. I agree. They are such a pain to put in, but whatever. I'm just going to let that pass. It should be good enough just with being kind of in. So it shouldn't fall out. Like, it's tight, so we're good. Alrighty, so we put it in and should be good to go. And let's move on to the next step. And let's go ahead and move on and yeah, we got some SATA cables right here. SATA data cables, and go ahead and plug them in somewhere. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. We'll put the NVMe in next. Before I forget, because you have to put in excuse me. And then so what you want to do is you see one of these two slots right here. Can't really see it, can you? But there's two NVMe slots right here. And what you want to do is you want to unscrew one of these screws depending on what position, what size your NVMe is, and then you unscrew it, and then like this is a full size NVMe right here, and yours may be a small NVMe. So depending on what size your NVMe is, you want to unscrew wherever your NVMe screw is currently, and then I'm just going to go ahead and unscrew it right now. And I accidentally hit the motherboard, but ain't like it's going to hurt anything. Go ahead and you just slide it in, and then you just take the screw, and then you just, this is a magnetic screwdriver. It's a little too big, but oh well, I've had worse of not having magnetic screwdriver. Make sure it's in all the way, because if it ain't in all the way, it's just not going to recognize the NVMe, unfortunately. You go ahead and push down the screw at least, because this screwdriver is way too big. So okay, yeah. Now let's tighten it down with this big screwdriver for it. It should be good enough. It's a little crooked, but it should be good enough at least. So yeah. Next, we'll install the RAM stick, or memory stick, like some people call them. It's an 8 gigabyte DDR4 2400T stick. I do have another one coming in from my friend Sid, so and I'll get a couple more. And these sometimes get a little bit dirty, so what you want to do is not spit on it, but very gently blow on it. This is an SK Hynix stick, by the way. So you want to open these two latches and line up the slot, and I put it in the wrong slot. Of course I did. And you always want to put it in the second closest slot to the CPU. That's the first. If you only use one stick, that's the slot you want to use first of all. So that's what I'm doing. Tech tip that I was taught yesterday from one of my good friends. So yeah, just push it down on both sides, just like that. So yeah, now we're going to install the hard drives. Got a couple 2.5-inch drive. I have a few 2.5-inch drives here, so we're going to have to make it a little bit janky, but it'll work. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this. Oh, man. It's so hot out here, it's not even funny. Oh, man. My nose is kind of itchy, so it's due to allergies. So I apologize if I'm doing that. So what we're going to do is put this through the HDD, the hard drive hole, where it says HDD, and then we're going to screw it with one screw. It's going to be kind of janky, but it'll work. I'm just going to give it kind of a head start before I give it a screwdriver. So, yeah. Whoops, and I accidentally scratched the RAM stick a little bit, but oh well. And I accidentally put it in the wrong way. Of course I did. This slot needs to go on the side where the ports are facing the motherboard, so it was my fault for not paying attention to that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and without breaking my hand here. Without trying to break my hand here, folks. Do not do that. Because I do not feel like end up in the ER tonight. Oh, man, my hand hurts. But we're going to... that screw's a little bit too big, so I think we're going to have to take it down a notch a little bit. That did not sound good, but it didn't hit the motherboard at least, so we're good. I can get the screw out of the grass here. Okay, so we're going to be taking the hard drive again, and we're going to be putting it up here. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do plan B for this without having to break my hand. Just gonna give the screw a head start without holding the screwdriver. Sorry if I'm taking forever, but I just don't want to break my hand or arm. And it ain't screwing in all the way, but oh well, it'll be good enough, honestly. And let's get this pieces of grass out of the case because obviously I don't want that for obvious reasons. Okay, well, it ain't getting out, so you have to take your little screwdriver and just very gently get it out. It ain't working, but that ain't working either, so we're gonna have to very, very, very gently. Aha, there we go. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm talking to the guy who says he's got to leave, but he says best luck with the build, and I'll definitely see the final product whenever you get a chance. That'll definitely be appreciated whenever you see the final product. And I'll definitely do a video of it running, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I'll definitely do update once I get the graphics card and more RAM and the I/O shield. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, well, this ain't going to work because it's kind of loose in there, so I'm just going to have to do it that way, and we're going to have to mount it somewhere else, so Yeah. Should grab laptop screws, but honestly, it's my fault for not grabbing them. You know what? I'll just put these 2.5-inch hard drives in later. Howdy, Sid. How's it going? We're gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna be building this without the graphics card, I/O shield, and only 8 gigs of RAM at the time being. I'm gonna be making an update video once I get those parts. So I'm just teaching the viewers on how to build the PC and whatnot. So yeah, I can't mount the 2.5-inch hard drives at the moment. So yeah, it's just gonna be what it is for right now. The what do you want to call it? The crap, I forgot what I was going to say. I hate when I do that, man. Oh well, I'll just get back to the building, and I'll think of it whenever I think of it. So now we're just going to take the 3.5-inch drives, and we're going to be 500 gig 3.5-inch drives, and we're going to be mounting them. So what you want to do is you want to slide them in there. And I put it in the wrong hole. Dang it. Ugh, man. Did I really put it in the wrong hole that it's going to get stuck? It's stuck in there for good? I sure hope not. Man. There we go. Much better. Alrighty, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking 2 screws, and what I like to do is we're going to do it one on each side of the case. So we're going to be one here, and we're going to make kind of like a zigzag type of thing. And then we're going to take the... Oh, and Sid, I know what I was going to say. I said the Intel stock coolers are terrible. I had a hard time putting the stock cooler in, and instead of using screws, they use those little clips, and they break really easily and bend really easily. So they suck, honestly. So yeah. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be taking this, and we're going to be mounting that hard drive with the other side to secure it. And we're only going to be using 2 screws, one on each side and the opposite sides, so it should be plenty to secure it. Perfect. Now I'm going to mount another hard drive, 500 gig Seagate hard drive, for right now until I find a proper mount method after the live stream and do an update video on that, and mount the other hard drive that I have. And we're going to be using a couple more screws. So yeah, get a couple more screws out of my pocket here. Okay, that ain't the right screw. I'm not sure what that's for. I always like to use the right screw, don't strip them. All right, so let's go ahead and put that. Sorry, this is not a really good video of me showing it. My S10 Plus does not. I left it's in my grandparents' house for the time being because they have to use it, and then the iPhone 14's back camera does not work. So yeah, I can't. I have to be watching my laptop, and it only has a front camera for obvious reasons. So yeah. So sorry, this is not turning out as good as expected. But yeah. Now that I'm mounted the hard drives, we're gonna be doing the two. We're gonna be mounting doing a couple of SATA cables. So SATA data cables is what people like to call them. So yeah, we're gonna be ignore my kitten, please, if you don't care. She's a little feisty. We just got her a couple weeks ago, and she's a little feisty. So yeah. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the SATA data cables into the motherboard. It's on this right side here. If you're curious, just line up with the line them up with the notches. Like in there we go. Man, bugs bothering me on my legs. So yeah, there's gonna be bugs outside if you're gonna do it in the nature where it's really pretty. So yep, gotta consider that if you're gonna do these type of videos outside. Alrighty, so we plugged in the SATA data cables, and now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna install, and then we're gonna install the. If I can find it here, we're gonna install the. I'm gonna be installing the card reader, the media card reader. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this into the opening on the front here. If you're curious where that is at, it is right here. You just slide it in. We need to make sure that's lined up with the front panel, right? Okay, it should, but I can fix that later if I want to. So you want to take a couple more screws. So you want to take a couple more screws, and then you want to find them here in my pocket. I have so many screws in my pocket that are different sizes. It's not funny. These are definitely not the right size. Way too big. Got one that's the right size. And then we got. Let's see if I can find another one here. 2 that's the right size. So I'm going to take my screwdriver. This is where normally floppy bay would go, but I don't like floppy disk drives that much. I'm not, well, I do, but I prefer a media card reader. So, and this motherboard does not take floppy disk readers; it just does not, they ain't compatible with them. So, it's not wanting to screw in all the way. I'll fix that. Hopefully, the screw's not wanting to strip. My drill, I would drill it in, but okay, I will have to loosen it a little bit. Alrighty, let's go ahead and screw the other screw in. I'm gonna have to get to the other side to screw that in because it's kind of hard to do it here. Man, these screws are tight. I hate Phillips screws, honestly. They're not really that practical. It should be tight enough, honestly. I don't really care. So let's move on to plugging it in, folks. It was 11/12 pin adapter, but I cut it to, my boss did anyway, to a fire ant here, so let's kill that. Let's plug that into one of these USB front panel ports. We'll be doing it to 2 because, well, 1 is going to go to the front panel USB port, so we're gonna, it's kind of going to be a tight fit because it's down, like I said. So there we go. So yeah. Next up is the DVD drive, DVD RAM drive. So let's go ahead and boy, is this thing hot from sitting in the sun. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and screw this down here. Take a screwdriver and screw this bad boy down. This screw went out from using it so much over the years. And let's see. Oh, crap. I put in the wrong screw hole. Well, there's only one screw hole on the other side, so I'm going to have to, in order to do a zigzag, I'm going to have to put in this screw hole on this side right here, the other screw hole. I'm going to do a zigzag. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take another screw and oh man, did not feel good. Let's see if there's any comments. No, there's not any more live comments. So let's go ahead and put another screw in, I suppose. This one's really bad tight. And this one's not going to go in, unfortunately. It's too big, so we'll have to find a smaller screw that will work. And this one should do the job just fine. Alrighty, that's screwed in right here. Now we're going to go put in the case fan right here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put in the case fan. Just line up right here. And then you just, well, actually, first you just take the plug, line it with the motherboard. When the motherboard ports that say system sys SYS fan 1, SYS fan 2, just whatever says SYS fan is fine. Oh man, the bugs all over me, man. Yep, I found one right here. And if it's 3-pin, like this one, it can also just, as long as you line up with the notch, it should be fine. And then we're going to go ahead and screw her in. Now, these require bigger screws, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and then we're going to get started on this one right here. And we're going to go and find a few more screws here. See if I can find some more in my pocket, or I may have to dump the entire screw thing out here. That's more like it. Yeah, I had to dump the entire screw thing out in order to find my screws I need, so let's go ahead and install the rest of the CPU, not CPU, but the case fan screws. And then we're going to take the last screw for that, and we're going to screw it right in as well. Oh man, my nose is kind of itchy, but whoop. Alrighty, so go ahead and take the buzzer, the computer buzzer, and we're going to install that next. You just feed it through. I should have maybe done it before I install the hard drives, but I'm sure I can make it work. Nah, never mind. It's a little bit lower. It's actually pretty to get to. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to feed it through the case. Oh man, it's stuck in between the RAM slots. That's not good. So what you want to do is you want to push in the clip in between the where the speak buzzer would go. Push it in. Yep, it's pushed in. Now you want to do is feed the cable to the motherboard and plug it in to this port that says JFP2, where it's 4-pin, and you want the red positive going plus and want the black going to the negative symbol. It has these 4 pins right down there. So yeah, I don't see it real well, and I apologize for that, but I'm sure you guys believe me as it is. So let's go ahead and plug it in. To the motherboard. And there we go. Now I'm going to plug in a SATA cable from the DVD drive to the SATA data port. Got to do that. Oh well. And we're going to do it on another one of these SATA data ports where we plug in the hard drives to. It's not very good cable management, and I apologize for that, but you know, it is the way it goes. Trying to see where my other SATA data cable went, and it's over here. Okay, we're good. And now we're going to show you how to install the graphics card if you have one. So, if I had one. So you want to line up the graphics card, this is just a low profile one, so it won't really work with this, but you want to line up with one of these PCIe slots. It's silver, X16, and you want to push it in there. You want to take one of these PCIe slots out that's beside the silver ones, unscrew it, and then push it down in there where the blanking plate would go, and then push the card down in there. And then latch this back afterwards. So I don't have a high profile card yet. I will get a GTX 1070 from my good friend Sid soon after doing a trade. So yeah, I'll definitely do an update after that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That was an example, just an example. Now I'm going to show you how to install the power supply. So this is going to be a little bit tricky here. This is a 520 watt Insignia power supply. Get this piece of grass out, dried up grass out of here. You want to line them up with these holes in the back here. And you want to get all these cables you see out of the way here. After you push that in, you want to take four, I think it's 4 screws. It's got a tight fit, so I will have to push it down slightly. And you want to screw these screws in very well, nice and tight. Take another one for this one. And you want to take a couple more screws. Then you take this screw. We stand it up here so you guys can see, have a better clue what I'm doing. Yeah, right here. And you want to do this screw. Do not do the top screw till we're going to do the step that we need to do it. So, yeah. And then we want to go ahead and plug in the connections from the power supply. So, you want to take these. If you had a power supply, graphics card that took that required an 8-pin, you would take these. You would want to take these 8-pin plus the 6-pin, depending on what graphics card you had, and plug them in. And not to get them mixed up with the CPU ones, because that would be pretty bad if you did. Anyways, now you want to do is for the main power part to power the main part of the board, you want to take this wide plug here, and it's separated for this model because it's different per board. And you want to plug into the wide part on the board here. I'm sorry I can't really show you, but you want to plug because I wish I had my stinking phone with me. That but you know, actions always have because I switched over to the iPhone 14 that had its camera does not work, and then I gave my grandparents my phone for the time, my other phone for the time being. But you know, it is the way stuff goes sometimes. It is what it is. So you want to really push down on there good on both connectors, and then you want to take your your 8-pin, your 4+4 pin, depending on what motherboard you have. You may just only need 4, and you want to plug into your connector where your CPU would go. And you really, in this particular case, it requires all 8 pins, and you really want to press down. Anyways, you want to take your you'll want to take your SATA power connectors, and then in my particular case, I want to use my Y connectors and plug them into the SATA power connectors. So I also have 2 power connectors, although I ain't going to use all of them at the moment because I can't install the 2.5-inch hard drives to the case. But we'll do that. I'll do another video at a later time, so don't worry. Once I get the IO Shield graphics card, maybe the i7 installed, another 8 gig stick of RAM installed, and then the hard drives installed. So don't worry. And then also, this ATX connector, this Molex connector, also have a little fan right here, and also have a little fan right here on where it cools the hard drives. That requires it, so that requires a Molex power. So that's like for old IDE hard drives that we don't really use anymore. So you just plug it in here, and now the fan gets power. It's kind of an odd choice for a fan, but you know what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna take reroute some wires real quickly. Reroute some wires. All right, so you want to take your SATA power things, and then you'll want to plug them into the hard drives. Which is kind of a pain in the butt to do, but honestly, oh well. Just kind of push them in there, and then you'll have 2 hard drives powered up, and then I'll get the other 3 hard drives powered up eventually. Then I also have another SATA power connector that we can power up the DVD drive with. So we're going to go ahead and do that while we're at it. There we go. Then these 3 data cables will go to the 0.5 inch, so we're not going to need them right now. Now we're going to put the case together. rest of the case together. So get these screws out of the way here. Gather up what I need and don't need. So next up, I'm going to set up this case here. Ugh. You can see it's almost done. Oh man, I got a charry horse and it hurts, I'll tell you. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I keep on getting charry horses and they hurt, I tell you. But now I'm going to take this top panel and we're going to slide it onto here. Okay, maybe I have it on the wrong way, and I apologize for that. Let's see. Make sure I have everything lined up here. Make sure I have it lined up correctly. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and screw these screws in onto the top panel here. Now I just have 2 more screws in the front here, and we'll be good to go on the top panel. This screw stripped. Okay. But oh well, it should hold it in good enough. I'll fix it later, honestly. And then the next thing you want to do is lay it back down. Take your front panel, that's right here, and you want to feed all these wires to the front. We're going to turn it back around here. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there'll be a hole right here. I'm trying to do this with one hand, by the way. So I apologize if this does not turn out good or anything like that for y'all. Now we just need to get these front panel connectors and switches in. And then I'll show you what to do because I can't really lift it up while doing this. So I'll just tell you what to do. Hurts sitting down for a long period of time, doesn't it? Alrighty, that should be in good enough, I would think. Now I just gotta get this front panel connectors in, feed them through. So this is a pain in the butt, I tell you, getting these wires fed through correctly. All right, so right here we got the power switch wires, the reset switch wires, the power LED wires, and the hard drive LED wires. And what you want to do is where it says, and there's a dust bunny in here, of course there is. Get that out real quickly. So where it says JFP1 has 9 pins with one missing. Has 10 pins with one missing, so there's 9 in total. You want to start by on the top left, take the green positive power LED wire, put it down. Actually, I'm going to do it on the bottom. So take the hard drive LED wire and put the red wire on the bottom left, and the white wire that's negative on the right, on the second one on the right, on the bottom right. Second one on the right. The second one on the bottom row is what I'd say. So very carefully do I plug that in. Actually, The reset switch will go to the next two pins beside the blue one, go beside the white wire of the hard drive LED. Then where it says power switch, you want to do on the pins above the hard drive. The reset switch is what I'd say. The orange one is the third on the top row, white on the fourth. So we go ahead and plug that in. For those who are tuning in, I'm almost done building this piece. We'll have to test it afterwards. Appreciate the support, everyone. Let's see here. Then you want to take your USB and take your USB wire for the front panel and put it where it aligns. And then you want to put it on JUSB1, so on the motherboard. So yeah. I'm having a little trouble plugging it in, so I apologize. Oh, I see why. Pins are not right. Pin layout's not right. There we go. I got it right now. Then where it says HD audio, you have a pin where it says HD audio, and for most in older cases we'll say AC97. You want the HD audio to plug in where it says J audio 1 on the motherboard. Line that up. Let me go ahead and the CMOS battery is bad on this, but I don't have any spare CMOS batteries on the motherboard. It's like the little coin battery where it keeps the date and time. So unfortunately, I can't change that right now. But as soon as I get a CMOS battery for it, I'm definitely going to change it. So yeah. And then you'll want to take those wires through some more. And then you want to align these latches right here on the right side first, and then do the left side. And I don't really like how that DVD drive's not sticking out, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. And the floppy disk is sticking out a little bit too far. Not floppy disk, the SD card reader. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. That's a little too far. Alrighty, so stand it back up, and let's get some more screws, and we're almost done putting it together, folks. So you want to, oh man, popped my ankle a little bit. Take this right side panel, and it's burning hot. Get this grass out of the way here, and you want to line it up here. You'll take 2 of these thumb screws and twist them on without a screwdriver and make sure they're really pretty tight. Make sure the motherboard is all good. Cable management is not really the best, but you know what you're going to do about it. It is what it is. So and then we'll take this side panel with the glass window that's kind of dirty, by the way. Need to get around to cleaning that. And it's kind of dirty, but I had one of the bus garage mechanics cut out for me, and it's pretty good, I will admit. For free, especially. So we're going to go ahead and pop that on the same way as the other one, so I'm not going to show it. Just because it's if I can get this aligned correctly here. Yeah, I don't really like it how it shows all those wires, so I'm going to open it back up and fix it. Alrighty, it looks good enough, so it ain't perfect by any chance, but it looks good enough that I want to put it back together, so. Take 2 more thumb screws, by the way, and we'll go ahead and see how long this live stream's been going. 1.5 hours already. Wow. So, and then we got this Wi-Fi adapter, by the way. We're going to be plugging it into one of the USB ports on the back, so we'll go ahead and do that real quickly. And we'll be putting the rest of these screws in my pocket. And see if I can. And voila. There's CD1, my first custom built computer that I made out of parts, so laying around. And bot parts. So yeah, we're going to test it now. Let me go and shut the camera, and I'll go ahead and bring stuff in. So yeah, I'm going to start with bringing CD1 in first of all, and hooking it up and whatnot. So yeah. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take this laptop to my room now. Alrighty, so the testing monitor right here that would be testing sound, so see if it works and make sure I did a good job. So yeah, let me get my phone flashlight here to make sure. Let me hook up all the connections and whatnot. See if I can find the HDMI cable for this thing. While I'm at it. Yeah, there's the HDMI cable right here. Oh man. Yeah. Then we'll go and plug in the speakers next. The PS2 keyboard I have over here. And then lastly, go ahead and get the mouse. See if I can find the not sure if I can find the oh, there's the USB connector right here. And then we'll go ahead and got the power cord and let's go ahead and turn it on, I suppose. Now let's turn off the flashlight on my phone. Let's see if it'll work. Okay, that noise does not sound good. I'll have to figure that out later. No, it's alright. Okay, that sounds about right. And that's okay, turned off, and it's going to reboot. Had to do that to the DVD drive, make sure it works because it's stuck. And it looks like it worked. Oh, that was always I thought. Okay, maybe it has to do a hard reboot. Make sure, like, to do its tests, so it works properly before and whatnot. It'll probably boot for real this time, though, I would say. Yeah, it's booting for real this time. Alrighty, let me go and do the privacy shutter though, so I can put in my password. And I don't want you guys seeing it for privacy reasons. So sorry. hard drives and whatnot are. Okay, all of them look like they're in good health, so that's good. I'm not sure what's causing that clicking noise, but I'm kind of getting ticked off by it a little bit. Make sure the audio works. Why is the audio working, I wonder? May have to do some updates and whatnot before I end the stream, just to make sure that everything's in good standing order and whatnot. Because the audio does not seem to work for whatever reason. That seems to be working very well, actually. And the audio not working, which I may have to update drivers as well, because this is old installation. It came from my old Optiplex 3060, so yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to update some drivers just to see what's going on. I'm about to close the shutter just because I can't show my real name due to privacy reasons. My last name due to privacy reasons. I already know, you guys already know what my first name is, but I just can't show my last name due to privacy reasons. So, yeah. See here. Check for updates. See, we're two right now. We're to an hour and 3/4 right now, so yeah. Guess I'll change the wallpaper while all the updates install. Because this came from my old Dell, and the Dell wallpapers are not really that relevant anymore. So, oh, for heaven's sake. Always pop-ups and whatnot on my Chrome that I absolutely despise. And it's all, of course, thinking I'm a bot just because I'm live streaming, so that's lovely. Now it's reconnecting, which is excellent. There we go. There we go. I'm looking for 1080p wallpapers just because I have 1080p monitors, so yeah. This is a 1440p monitor for testing because it has so many different inputs, but my main monitor, look this up pretty soon, is 1080p. I have two of them, so from 2021, so this mouse is awful that I'm using right now because it scrolls like it's a scroll by itself and it's so delayed, so yeah. See if the audio update's fixed. If the audio's fixed, I guess you'd say. Okay, audio is fixed. Okay. I guess Windows Update had to fix that. Now let's go ahead and check the changeable wallpaper. Alrighty, so yeah, the wallpaper changed up there. It's kind of blurry, so I'll probably once I get a chance on this computer and whatnot. So yeah. You can even see that my motherboard lights up as well. I'll have to show you guys quickly. You guys can kind of see it, I suppose. So yeah, now we're gonna do some Q&A. So was this build worth it? Absolutely. I've been dying to build a PC for some time. It may have been a little bit older than most people would have built, and it may have been a little bit cheaper than most people would have built. But honestly, either way, I don't really care. This has been a dream come true, honestly, and I couldn't have said it any better, honestly. This works really well, and the reason why I added the DVD drive, by the way, is because I burn CDs sometimes. So my main laptop, which is also a gaming laptop, does not have that. So yeah, it does not have a DVD drive. So this would ever come in handy for that for sure. So yeah, and the media card reader would definitely be handy for like cameras and whatnot. So yeah, she's definitely a beauty, I tell you what, right now. And she'll be even more of a beauty once I get more parts for it, and it will be a beast of a PC for sure. And for a beginner PC, for being 11 years old, I mean, for motherboard and parts and components, I mean, it's definitely not a bad computer for sure. It's still definitely 100% usable. I did Windows 11 with Rufus bypass, and she runs really well still, I must say. We'll have to change the CMOS battery eventually, but honestly, who cares? I will. I will have to ask my boss at work whenever I get a chance to see if he has a spare one from one of the scrap computers. But yeah, I will end the stream in about like 6 minutes because I'd like to reach the 2 hour mark. So yeah, if there's any more questions you'd like to ask me, feel free to put it on the live chat because I'd be more than happy to ask you as long as it ain't. I'd be more than happy to question. I'd be more than happy not ask you, but I'd be more than happy to like answer you as long as it ain't too personal or anything like that. She's a beauty, I tell you what. Right now, it's already 4:48 too, so it will be almost 5 o'clock by the time I end the stream. So that would be quite impressive. My computer's just finishing the 8CD1 is just almost done finishing its updates. So, and I also bet most people don't even go outside when doing PCs just because they don't care about outside. But it's a beautiful day, so and it's unusual when people computers and outside don't really have a lot in common. So, I figured why not? Let's try something new. Am I right? I have 5 more minutes, so if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. Yeah, this will be my new main desktop for sure. I know the CPU may be a downgrade compared to my old Optix 3060 being an i5 8400, but I don't care. This has way more parts, way more upgradability, and it will have an i7 7700 or 6700. So even though it won't officially support Windows 11, it will. And me having an ATX build sleeper would definitely be worth it, and more than a proprietary Dell build. I used to like those Dell builds, honestly, especially the older ones. But now thinking about it, it's just nowhere near as fun as building a PC. Honestly, nowhere near as fun as building a PC. So yeah, I've just been so excited lately, and I'm finally got around to doing it. Even though I'm missing some parts, I can squeeze them in pretty soon once I get them, which will hopefully be next week. And I'll make an update video once that comes. So yeah, have about 3 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me while I have the time. Because I'll end the stream around 4:55. Now in the stream at exactly 2 hours. Yeah, I'm almost 18 years old, and I'm going to be a senior next school year, starting August 13th. So that's really hard to believe. I was in third grade whenever I started this YouTube channel. So and I started doing ceiling fan videos whenever I was a little kid. So I kind of quit doing that due to the fan community having so much drama, so many people arguing, so many people causing so much drama and whatnot. So I just quit being part of the fan community and just quit doing fan videos. So yeah, it just ain't worth being part of the drama. I just ain't worth being dragged into the drama. So I'm just done basically. I'm just gonna focus on computer content, my bus content, stuff like that. This is not worth it anymore. So I'm sorry, guys, for those people who like fans and miss the fan content. I'm just really sorry if you've been wondering and missed my fan videos, but yeah. Being dragged into drama just is not worth it. Just simply is not. As much as I hate to say it. Well, I have about a minute and a half before I have to end the stream, so ask it right now if you have to. I doubt anybody will, but I thought I'd point that out there. Well, for someone who's tuning in, I'm about to end the live stream. So if you want to watch the 2 hours of me building the computer, I'm about to end the live stream. So, anyways, that about wraps it up for this live stream build of me building the computer outside, which is really unusual. So, and my first time building a computer in general. So, anyways, that wraps it up, guys. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe. Share your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what your PC build is if you're building one, if you already built one. And stay tuned for so much more content to come. Go ahead and end the stream at exactly 2 hours just because it'll please my OCD more. Yeah. That's what we do around here, is to please the OCD.